This is a video describing the functional areas of the cerebral cortex. So 80% of the human brain is made up of the cerebrum. Half of that is the white matter on the inside of the cerebrum, which does not do information processing. It merely carries information to other parts of the nervous system. The half that we're going to talk about now is the gray matter, or the cerebral cortex. If the patient has a stroke or traumatic brain injury or some other injury of the cerebral cortex, the symptoms that they will experience and the deficits they will have will depend on the function of the part of the cortex that got damaged. So these functional areas of the brain are extremely important to understand when you're treating a patient that has brain damage of any kind. If you look at the top of this picture, there is a line between the red and the dark blue band called the central sulcus. That line is the boundary marking the back edge of the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe goes from the central sulcus all the way forward to the front of this picture, and it is right behind your forehead. So if you look at the bright red area at the very back of the frontal lobe, it's called the primary motor cortex. The function of this particular part of your cerebrum is this is the portion of your brain that creates action potentials that will leave your brain and go down to a motor neuromuscular junction that will cause any skeletal muscle in your body to contract. This area, the primary motor cortex, is very carefully mapped in an identical way in all humans, so that if an action potential goes from a particular spot in the primary motor cortex, it will always lead to turning on a predictable muscle. And so that mapping in the primary motor cortex is called the homunculus. So the primary motor cortex is the part that sends an action potential to a particular muscle to make it contract, but it does not know which muscles you have to contract in what order in order to walk.